Hi guys, so this video is going to be about the 3x3 and I will be teaching the beginner's method for it. Now if you don't know how to solve the 3x3 at all, I'd recommend you just play around with it for a bit and then watch the whole video and just practice what I'll be teaching you while doing that. And if you're here just for a specific part of it, like the last layer, then I will be giving an index and you can just fast forward to that point. Hope you enjoy the video. Our first step is going to be solving the first layer. By the first layer, I don't mean just one color, I mean the entire layer. So if you were to cover these two parts, it should look solved, which means that each white piece should be in its correct place as well. So, well, the first part of the first step would be solving the white cross. That would mean solving the edges, the white edges. Okay? Now, for me, it's white. You can choose whatever you want. Now there's no algorithm for this, it just needs logic. So there's one piece over here and the white needs to be there, so we can just go ahead and move it and it matches now. Now how do you know if a piece is in its right place? It has to match with both of its centers. Now if this piece were here, then it would not match with its side, so it's technically in the wrong place, so we need to fix it over here. Now this one is also white, so we can just move it up, but it's not matching here, so it needs to go there, right? So what we do, we just bring it to the opposite side by moving it twice, and then we can just adjust it by bringing it to whichever side we want, and then we just move it twice again and it will go to its right place. Okay, so that's what you do. Now this piece is here, it's matching with its center and it needs to go right on its opposite side, so we can just move it twice and it's gonna go there. Now the last piece is over there. Okay, now the white is over here and it clearly needs to go there because it's where white and orange intersect over there, and this is a white and orange piece. Okay, so this needs to go there. So this is kind of easy, you just twist this way, bring this over here, and now that this is here, we can just solve it up. So that's the end of the cross. Now we can just get to solving the corners. Okay, now this actually works only when the piece is on the bottom layer and not like one of these pieces which are already on the white side but like twisted, you could say. Now this is over here and so the white part of the piece has to be on one of these four colors. When it's on the opposite side, you need to do something slightly different, and I'll explain that. But for now, let's just assume that this piece is over here, which it is. Okay, so this is a white, red and blue. Okay, and so it needs to go where white, red and blue intersect, which is over here. Now while searching, it's easiest to turn the cube around like this instead of just randomly turning it around and confusing yourself, because, well, these pieces have been solved, so that makes it easier to search. So yeah, this piece needs to go there. So first let's just bring it as close to its destination as possible. So it's come right under here, and now you just hold it like this and see, is the white on this side or this side? Now if it's on this side, it's something different, but yeah, if it's on this side, just turn the cube over here and do this. You bring this up, move this to the side, bring this here and bring this back. Okay, so that solves it. Now if you get it on the other side with white being over here, you just do the mirror image of what I showed. So you just bring this up, bring this to the side, bring this back and bring this here. Okay, now if you get confused on any of these steps, that's okay, you can just rewind and watch again. But if you still have any questions, you can just post in the comments. Okay, now over here, this piece is on the opposite side. We need to get it as close to its destination as possible. Now it's a white, green and orange, so it has to go here, which is white, green and orange, right? So it needs to go there. Now we just bring it right under its place, so this white needs to go there, and we could just start this way if you want, or this way, but yeah, so you need to bring this down so that the piece goes there, and now move it twice to get it out of the way and bring it back. Now it's just come with the white piece over here. Now you can just bring it as close, the white's on this side, so just bring it up, move this to the side, bring this down and bring it back. So that solves these two pieces. Now there's also this piece, which is a white, red and green, so that needs to go there. So there's also another way of doing this, and depending on which one you're more comfortable with, you could use any. So since this needs to go there, you just move this to the side, to this side, away from it, not this side, because then it would affect the piece. You move it to the side, bring this down, bring this back and bring it up. Now if it's on the other side, you again do the mirror image of what I showed, and that needs to go there. Bring this here, bring this down, bring this back and bring this up. Now if you don't understand the logic behind these, that's okay. If you do it enough number of times, then you will actually start to understand how it works and everything. Now this piece here is twisted in its own place. That's also not very hard to deal with. So just to bring that piece out, we need to put another piece in, right? So we can just act like this piece needs to go there. So we can just do it however you want. Just put that piece there, and this piece just comes out. And now we can just solve it the way we do. It's on the opposite side. So we just do this. Okay, that needs to go there now. And that's the end of the first layer. If you cover this up, it would look solved. See, okay, I can't cover it up, but you get the idea. Okay, so that's the end of the first layer. Okay, from here onwards, for most of the solving, it's actually easier to keep the white side below, because all these pieces are in their right places. And for solving these parts, you won't ever have to search in this area, right? So you can just keep it down, and when you're looking for pieces, you can just turn the cube this way. That actually makes things a lot easier. So now we need to solve these pieces, the ones between each of these colors. And now one of them has already been done for you. Yeah, I don't know if you can tell, but that's an orange. It's actually quite clear. Okay. So it's matching on both sides, and that's how you know it's in the right place. We just need to do it for the rest of these pieces. Now this piece is matching over here, but not over here. So now this algorithm works only for a piece that's on the yellow side, like one of these pieces, and they need to go over here or here. Okay. So let's just start with this one. This is an orange and green, and it needs to go right there where orange and green intersect, right there. Okay, now that needs to go there, right? So you first move it away from by the way, you need to match it over here. Like, you can't put it over here because orange doesn't match with green, and when it goes in, it's going to be flipped. It's going to look like this. So just keep it over here, and you can always check by just turning the cube. It should be matching. So yeah, it matches. So you move this away, so that it needs to go there, and you bring this side up, bring this piece back, and move this side down. Now this white piece is kind of joined to that piece, to the piece which we need to send over there. Now we can just turn the cube over and solve it the regular way. Bring this up, move this to the side, bring this down and bring this back. Now that solves this piece. So we can just do that for the other two. If it needs to go onto this side, you just do the mirror image version of what I showed. You don't move it to this side, you just move it to this side, and then you bring this side up. Now there's this piece which needs to go right on the opposite side. Like, it matches over here, but this color needs to go there. Okay, now this piece does not need to go here. It does, but if it goes in there, it's flipped, right? Because red does not match up with this. If you were to turn this twice, you can see that this matches, but this doesn't. Okay, so there's an algorithm for this one. I mean, it's more of a shortcut, and it's pretty easy to figure out. But this goes right there, and that goes right here. So here's how it goes. You just move this side twice, move this side twice, move the right side twice, move this twice again, and move this twice. So that has switched these two pieces. This one is matched, but this one is not. So for this one, we just use the same logic as we did when one of these pieces was twisted. Now we just pretend that this piece needs to go there, and once it goes there, this will automatically come out. Okay, so we just go ahead and do our algorithm. Okay, I'm just using the second method of keeping the piece back in, and now this piece has come in and this piece has gone out. Okay, now it matches on this side, so, and it needs to go there, so you move it away, bring this side up, bring this back, and bring this here. Now these two match. We can just solve it any way you want. And that's the end of the second layer. You could tell if you just cover up the bottom layer, it looks solved. Now while solving this, it's actually going to be divided into a few steps. So first we'll have to solve the yellow cross, just like we did for white, and then we'll have to solve the rest of the 4 corners, and then we rearrange the corners into their right places, and then we rearrange the edges into their right places. Okay, so let's just get started. Now first we just need to pretend that these corners don't exist. We just need to look at the situation we can have for these edges. So over here it's a bar. I'm just going to go over all the situations one by one. Now first I'll just go over the dot, which is this. If you cover up these corners, it's just one dot, like none of the other edges are up, they're all the yellows are on the side. Okay, now you can just cover this up and it's a dot. We can just hold it anyway because all the edges are down, and we do this algorithm. Move this to the side, the front, clockwise, bring the right side clockwise, and move the up clockwise. Now move the right side anti-clockwise, move the up side or whatever anti-clockwise, and move the front side anti-clockwise. Now that gets you to the next situation we could have. That's the hook. It looks like this when you cover these. Okay, that's not necessary because they're not up at all. Now this is the hook, which is basically a hook. So you hold it like this with these 2 yellow pieces down and to the right, and you just do the same thing again. So just bring this clockwise, 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 anti-clockwise, anti-clockwise, anti-clockwise. So that gets you to the next situation, which is bar. If you cover this up, it's a bar. Now you hold this horizontally with the 2 yellows on the right and left side, and you do the same algorithm again. So that finishes the cross. Now we can go on to solving the corners. So the thing about solving the corners is, whichever situation we have with these 4, now we can just pretend that these don't exist because they're going to be yellow either way. So the thing about it is, we first need to get it to a situation called the fish, which is basically a fish. I don't know if you can tell, but it has 1 yellow and the other yellows are all to the side. Okay, so we just need to get it to that situation. If you already have it in this situation or all the yellows being solved, that's fine. You can just skip this then. You can just, yeah, so I'm just going to go over each of these situations. So the first one is the cross. This one is the easiest to get to actually. Now you could have 2 versions of the cross. The first one would be with these 2 yellows pointing in this direction on one side. This is actually called headlights. We can just call it headlights with 2 yellows on this side, and over here there's no yellows, and on the opposite side there's yellows. There's no yellows here. And the next situation, don't do this, it's not going to let your cube be solved. Now the next situation is, there's headlights over here, and when it comes over here, there's 1 yellow over here and another yellow over here. Okay, now those are called, let's just call them side lights. Okay, now there's headlights over here and side lights over here, or headlights and headlights. Just find the spot where there's no yellow over here, and you do this algorithm: right side clockwise, up side clockwise, and bring the right side down, bring this to the side again, right side up twice, and right side down. That gets you to the fish. There's also the situation where you can have 2 adjacent yellows up and these 2 are down. Now this can either be headlights over here or side lights. which is basically these two being yellow. That's not what it is right now. You do this algorithm, the same one, and up twice. That gets you to the fish. If you have side lights, like a yellow over here and a yellow over here, now you just go in front and you do the same algorithm again. Right side up, up to the side, right side down, and up twice, and right side down. You'll get to the cross with headlights and side lights, and then you can just go to the side where there's no yellow and do the same algorithm. Sometimes you can also have the 8, which is basically two opposite yellows being up. Now in this case, you just need to go to this, you just need to hold it like this, where you can see the other two yellows. When you hold it like this, you can't see any of the yellows, but when you hold it like this, you can, with this pointing towards you, and these two here. Now you just go to the side where yellow is on the left and not the right, and you do the same algorithm. Okay, now once you have the fish, you can point the fish towards yourself, and you can check if the yellow is on this side or this side. Okay, now over here for me the yellow is on this side. If it's on this side, that's great, but if it's on this side, just go here and do the same algorithm, and that gives you a fish again, but with the yellow on this side. So once you have this situation, you can just do it with this on this side, and you'll be done. That's the end of the yellow side. Now we just need to rearrange these corners and then rearrange the edges, and we'll be done. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna look for corners that somehow match with each other. Now these two don't match, these two don't match, these two don't match, and yeah, these two match. Okay, now since these two colors match, you just need to put them on their side to make things easier. Okay, so these two match, and so if you just look at it, this piece needs to go there and that piece needs to go there. So you just need to switch these two, and at the same time just switch these two. That needs to go there and that needs to go there, but we can switch these two later on. First we'll switch these two. Okay, you need to do it with the two pieces that need to be switched in front of you, not to this side, not to this side, and not behind you. Okay, they need to be in front of you. Just keep that in mind. So this algorithm is a little bit long, so you might want to like watch this several times and maybe even note down the cube notation. There's also my video on cube notations which helps understand them. So the link to that is in the description. So here it goes. Right side down, front clockwise, and right side down again. Then move the back twice. Move the right side up, bring the front anti-clockwise, and move the right side down again. Back twice again, and move the right side twice again. So with that, these four would be aligned. Sometimes you can also get the situation where none of the corners are like aligned on any side. They don't match anywhere. In that case, you just need to do the same algorithm twice. Once on this side and once for these two. So we can just go ahead and do it over here. Back twice, right side up, front anti-clockwise, right side down twice, and right side twice. So that aligns these two. Now you can just go ahead and match these two, and then now these two need to be switched, so just hold them in front of you and do the algorithm one last time. And that would solve all of them. Sometimes you may even get like one side other than yellow and white solved, so that's also good. Yeah, so now we just need to do the final step, which is rearranging the edges. So you will most likely get a situation where one of these sides other than yellow and white is solved, which is what I have here, and the other three pieces just need to move in like any direction. Now this piece needs to go there, this piece needs to go there, and this piece needs to go there. in an anti-clockwise direction, right? So just go ahead and do this algorithm. So front twice and move the up anti-clockwise such that this piece matches with the center. Don't move it this way because then it doesn't match. By the way, this is for anti-clockwise. If it's clockwise, then you have to turn it this way and it will match. But since it's anti-clockwise, it's anti-clockwise. So move these two sides down and switch them front twice. Bring the two sides back up. Bring the white strip towards yourself and right side twice, and you'd be done. So if it needs to go clockwise, you just do the same thing front, except this time it matches over here and not over here. So just clockwise, bring these two down, switch them, bring them back up. Now the white strip was on this side, so just bring it towards yourself. That's it, and you'd be done. Sometimes you can also get the situation where none of the sides other than yellow and white are solved. Sometimes these two pieces need to be switched and these two pieces need to be switched. Sometimes the adjacent edges need to be switched, which is these two and these two. So for both of them, you just do the same thing. You hold it in any direction you want and you just do the algorithm in any direction. So that's bound to solve at least one of the sides. For me, it's this one, so the green side. Now just hold it. By the way, you need to hold the solved side opposite to you. Now just solve. Now they need to go clockwise, so just solve them. And you're done. You solved the cube.